Good morning. Welcome back to the channel. I'm the GM Philosopher. How long has it been since you read over the actions in the New Player's Handbook, the 2024 version? There is actually a whole very convenient list of actions with very simple descriptions of them, and we're going to go through them in this video. You're not going to want to miss this. Let's dive right in. Now, on page 15 of the New Player's Handbook, we have a whole list of actions. And I think this is actually super cool. And I was surprised because it's been a little while since I've actually read the action part in a D&D Player's Handbook. You know, when I started playing 3rd edition, I read through it all to make sure I understood it. However, when the new 2014 Player's Handbook came out, I don't even know that I even read through the actions, partly because I thought to myself, oh, well, I know what the actions are. I did end up reading them eventually, but I was kind of surprised at what I found. And in the New Player's Handbook, the same is true. I read through the actions and it's kind of fun, kind of interesting to see what they say. So I'm going to read through them here and maybe commentate on them. So let's go. First, what does the 2024 Player's Handbook say about actions? It says, when you do something other than moving or communicating, you typically take an action. The action table lists the game's main actions, which are defined in more detail in the rules glossary. So this is the action table. This is not the rules glossary. However, I'm going to read through these for you. And guess what? If you're anything like me, you might hear this and be like, oh, wow, I haven't thought of that action in a while. That's cool. First, we have the attack action, obviously. Attack with a weapon or an unarmed strike. We have the dash action. For the rest of the turn, give yourself extra movement equal to your speed. We have the disengage action. Your movement doesn't provoke opportunity attacks for the rest of the turn. We have the dodge action. Until the start of your next turn, attack rolls against you have disadvantage, and you make dexterity saving throws with advantage. You lose this benefit if you have the incapacitated condition or if your speed is 0. You can make the help action. Help another creature's ability check or attack roll or administer first aid. You could take the hide action. Make a dexterity stealth check. You could take the influence option. Make a charisma, either deception, intimidation, performance, or persuasion, or wisdom, animal handling check to alter a creature's attitude. You could take the magic action. Cast a spell, use a magic item, or use a magical feature. You could take the ready action. Prepare to take an action in response to a trigger you define. You could take the search action. Make a wisdom, insight, medicine, perception, or survival check. You could take the study action. Make an intelligence, arcana, history, investigation, nature, or religion check. Or you could take the utilize action, which is to use a non-magical object. And of course, these are all actions. They're not reactions or bonus actions. Bonus actions are different and reactions are also different. I'm going to read those to you real quick as well, because there is a difference between actions and bonus actions and reactions. Various class features, spells, and other abilities let you take an additional action on your turn called a bonus action. The cunning action feature, for example, allows a rogue to take a bonus action. You can take a bonus action only when a special ability, a spell, or another feature of the game states that you can do something as a bonus action. You otherwise don't have a bonus action to take. And then when we come to reactions, that's also a little different. Certain special abilities, spells, and situations allow you to take a special action called a reaction. A reaction is an instant response to a trigger of some kind, which can occur on your turn or on someone else's. The opportunity attack, described later in this chapter, is the most common type of reaction. When you take a reaction, you can't take another one until the start of your next turn, so you're limited to only one. If the reaction interrupts another creature's turn, that creature can continue its turn right after the reaction. In terms of timing, a reaction takes place immediately after its trigger unless the reaction's description says otherwise. I think that one of the most interesting things about reading over the actions list like this is just realizing that there are different options that we don't always think about and that players don't always think about. For example, at my table, the attack, dash, disengage, dodge, help, hide, influence, magic, ready, search, study, and utilize actions are all used pretty regularly, and I was kind of surprised to find that we tend to do them correctly. Like, there weren't too many surprises on that front. However, I have played with a lot of gamers who didn't understand that you could even take a help action. I've played with a lot of gamers who didn't even understand that you could take a disengage action or a dodge action. There are a lot of players who just haven't read through the book, and some GMs even who've played the game but haven't read through the book, and these actions might be news to them, stuff that they've never used before. And this kind of goes to show that even though it can be a little little bit of a pain and sometimes very time intensive to read through the player's handbook. Trust me, I know. I'm like the worst about that. I don't always read. Like I bought the player's handbook for the 2024 version, and I still haven't read through the whole thing at all. I'm still just working my way through it slowly. However, there are big and fun advantages to going through the book and reading it, and the actions list is just one example of this. So if you get the chance, maybe read through the book if you haven't already. And hey, you never know what kind of cool stuff you might find that you didn't even realize was possible, stuff that might really inspire you. We don't necessarily need the player's handbook, if we're really being honest, to play awesome TTRPGs. You can play TTRPGs with a pencil and a piece of paper and no rule book if you are all willing to agree to kind of a certain set of parameters and just run a homebrew game. But there is a lot of fun and inspiration to be found by going through the books, and if nothing else, it can make you aware of stuff you didn't know about before, stuff that you might be able to use to make your games better and more fun. And that's all I'm going to say on this one. Hey, thank you very much for stopping by, watching another one of my videos. I'm here every day creating videos about the best game in the world, D&D. So I will see you awesome people on the next one.